Hello, LinkedIn. Richard here on his Churchill Fellowship. I'm currently in London. I leave to drive up to Scotland, staying 5 days in Nottingham and looking at the surrounds on Monday. I will do a sort of London overview video Monday or Tuesday. But now I'm doing a video on a program that I saw that I thought was really, really interesting. Really, really good program. All going well. I'll be going to see this program in one of the prisons on Monday. We've got to wait for approvals and all that sort of stuff. Now, this program is, this group started doing looking at youth crime, but in London currently, and maybe England as a whole, I'm not sure, the prison problem is really bad. So they're overflowing. No one knows what to do. There's a lot of violence. So all the attention has gone into prisons. That's where they are now. Now, depending on what you call a young person, some people say under 24. Some people say 27. Me personally, like in my own lived experience, when I was involved in crime, I noticed myself started thinking differently when I was around 27. That's when I started thinking, what have I got? I haven't got anything. Family. What am I doing with myself? Like I started thinking forward and more thinking like on that path of like attaching yourself to the world as opposed to sort of living that fast lifestyle. So me personally, I think 27 is definitely the point. Now, so what this program is they go into prisons and they deal with about 30 people at a time. Now, they do deal with high-risk offenders. They're generally under 29. They start, so the first part of the program, when these people are in prison, is trauma. So let's deal with the trauma as the idea behind it. And they do things like equine therapy, recognizing your triggers, sort of interventions for triggers and stuff like that. Now, it completely makes sense. Like, let's deal with the trauma first, and then let's try and stabilize them. Now, the second part of it, and this is done in prison as well, is employment. Now, again, this makes sense. Fix the trauma. Employment is a significant reducer of recidivism. So from the research, like my personal opinion is perceptions is the biggest problem, but from the research I've read, this could be wrong, marital status is the biggest indicator of reducing recidivism, and then there's employment. So as opposed to setting up Tinder in the prisons, these guys, they're going for employment. And I agree from my own lived experience, like getting employment, like coming out of prison, having nothing, and then trying to get employment is very, very hard. And this is great. This sort of bridges that gap. Now, this organisation are partnered up with very big corporations. So they put in a lot of effort in. They've created like a flag that you can have as part of your corporate branding if you hire from prisoners. They're really involved in getting the big corporations involved. Now, I'm talking big as in one of their partners is one of the big four accounting firms internationally. Another partner is an international developer that's based in Australia. And they're involved in this program both financially but also in the next part. So in prison, trauma first, business skills. And these prisoners get a business mentor, and sometimes it's from one of these companies, sometimes it may be from a different company. And these business mentors, they talk to them, they help them with getting job readiness, maybe provide some connections and stuff like that. That's done. And so these mentors, they're not lived experience mentors, not in the lived experience I'm talking about, but they're business. So they're involved in business, they're working, they're in that team. Now they get that, and they get sometimes some of these people, they get the job and they move on from that, or some people require extra support. So this organisation might help them with their family, do workshops with them. They may give them some more training. They may give them some assistance in getting employment if they haven't already got it. It sort of follows through post-release. Now, some of these people, they go off into employment, and that's fine. Some of them, this organisation hires as mentors. So they've gone through the program, They understand the therapeutic side of it. They've done a bit of training, and now they become lived experience mentors, and they call them key mentors. Now, these mentors, some of them work in the prison, some of them work out of the prison. They sort of work as like caseworkers and guides for the new oncomers to turn their life around and get their life going. So that's one stream. Another stream that they can take is some of these key mentors work within the prisons to do violence reduction. So it depends on the personality, their crime, what they're sort of like in prison, or how they can operate in prison, is to which path they go. Now that's really, really cool, and that's really, really interesting. You sort of got, if you think of it as a machine, you sort of got people coming in, healing, getting help, but then also some of them becoming part of that machine to grow that machine. Like, that's really, really interesting. And some of these key mentors, they can do youth work and stuff like that. It's a really interesting model. The lady is really, really interesting. Like, I hope it's sort of something that you might need a diagram for to really explain it. But it was really interesting. Like, it was sort of interesting how they come through and can get involved in that machine again. I hope I explained that well. But, part of this is these videos is dissemination as part of the agreement with the Churchill Trust, but also practice for me. Like, when I come back, if I ever get into a position where I want to start doing videos and stuff like that for the work I do, this is great practice. So I hope that made half sense. I'll be hopefully going to the prison on Monday and then doing a video after that of an overview of London, and then I head up north and we'll go from there. All right, thanks people. Have a good evening, or it will be morning by the time this goes out.